I went to my search engine and typed in two words: beauty and fasting. Everything that came up was about physical beauty, the appearance of your skin, or weight loss. What about the concept of true beauty as a result of fasting? Is there beauty in fasting? Let's rock. Are you walking through a storm that feels like it will never end? Do you wonder if life's storms have stolen the beauty from your life for good? You're in the right place. My name is Heather, and like you, I've been through a storm or two and wondered if life would ever be beautiful again. Here we share warriors' words, stories of discovering beauty after battles, and the worth in your wounds. Pick up your sword or boxing gloves and join the battle. Your words are powerful, my friends. Make them warrior words. Matthew 9:14 and 15. The disciples of John approached Jesus and said, "Why do we and the Pharisees fast much, but your disciples do not fast?" Jesus answered them, "Can the wedding guests mourn as long as the bridegroom is with them? The days will come when the bridegroom is taken away from them, and then they will fast." This gospel passage seems to imply that fasting is equated to mourning. And it is. What this passage doesn't address is the result of fasting. Let's look at Matthew 17:21, where in answering his disciples' question as to why they couldn't drive out a specific demon, Jesus says, quote, "This kind of demon does not come out except by prayer and fasting." So, I don't know, in my opinion, having a demon driven out sounds like a beautiful result of fasting. Fasting is seen or mentioned in several places in the Bible. We read of Moses and Elijah fasting in the Old Testament. And we see Jesus fasting in the desert for 40 days after his baptism in the Jordan. Then, being strengthened by his time in prayer, he resists the devil's temptations. So, what is fasting? Essentially, it's abstaining from food or drink or something else for a period of time. When we abstain from something, we are denying ourselves something our human selves desire. In the case of food, this denial makes our physical bodies weak, and we may feel fatigue. Jesus told us that in order to follow him, we must deny ourselves. We must become dependent upon him, and we must relinquish our control. I found a couple of quotes from some brilliant minds about why we fast. And this first one is from St. Thomas Aquinas. "For we fast for three purposes. 1, to restrain the desires of the flesh. 2, to raise the mind to contemplate sublime things. 3, to make satisfaction for our sins. These are good and noble things, and so fasting is virtuous." Good, noble, virtuous, those are all words that, in my opinion, go hand in hand with beauty. And from St. Augustine, we learn, quote, "Fasting cleanses the soul, raises the mind, and subjects one's flesh to the spirit, renders the heart contrite and humble, scatters the clouds of concupiscence, quenches the fire of lust, kindles the true light of chastity. And everything on that list corresponds to an aspect of biblical beauty. This spiritual practice of denying ourselves can also help us develop more patience. And we could all use a bit more of that, right? And it can also increase our gratitude. When we slow down and fast with intentionality, that sounds funny, slow down and fast. Okay, sorry, tangent there. We can deepen our prayer life, and we find a release from the attachments of the world. For example, I know several people who fast from social media. They are detaching themselves from what the world is calling us to and using that time to focus on God and prayer. Another example of beauty that comes with fasting is when we commit to fast from our drive-through coffees, midday snacks, sodas, desserts. We can take the money that we would have spent on those things and use that money for something beautiful, like a donation to your favorite charity, helping another woman walk through her trauma, or buying an item you know someone needs but can't afford. That's true beauty. Denying yourself and following Jesus. For homework this week, I want you to think about a way that you can fast, and then how you can use that fast to add more beauty either to this world or to someone else's life. Then come to the Facebook group at facebook.com/groups/warrior words and leave a comment. But I want this comment to be different. I don't want to promote bragging about what we do. In Matthew 6, Jesus instructs us not to make it obvious that we are fasting. He calls that hypocrisy. So let's not be hypocrites. What I would love to see is the fruits of your fast. What beauty did your action produce? So we want to see the beauty of the results, not the action itself. And that's it for now. Remember, armor up, fight the good fight, seek beauty, and make your words warrior words. God bless.